You know what I'm saying? But they would always let me know. It's like, no, you can do that. Or my dad, I would say certain things like, oh, but I can't do it. And my dad would be like, what did you just say?
What if one misplaced hard drive could topple two of the most bulletproof names in entertainment? One crowned the Fresh Prince of blockbusters, the other the bad boy architect of modern hip-hop. Imagine a nocturnal vault full of mini-DV tapes, dating back to the era of pagers and shiny suits suddenly hauled out of a mansion by Homeland Security agents. Now picture a single 37-second leak, grainy but crystal enough to ID. Will Smith pacing like a man chasing bad news, while Sean Diddy Combs leans back on a leather sofa, cool as glacier glass until a phone screen wipes the grin off his face. Cut silence. Rumors explode like popcorn in a pressure cooker. For decades, whispers followed both men, freak-off parties, hidden cams, open marriages, secret leverage files, but whispers rarely stick without receipts. Then came the March 2024 raids, simultaneous dawn strikes on Diddy's Los Angeles and Miami properties. Tech forensics teams wheeling out crate after crate of labeled drives and battered mini-DV cassettes. Investigators cited electronic media of evidentiary value in a trafficking probe. And just like that, the conspiracy turned into a courtroom. Real as Will on one of those tapes? Is Diddy hoarding blackmail or desperately burying proof? Did Jaguar write the internet's loudest whistle, dramatize a myth, or simply shout the truth too early? Tonight, we'll trace every breadcrumb from security guard bombshells to darknet bidding wars for a scandal that may reshape how Hollywood parties, how the public watches, and how reputations burn. Buckle in, each section moves fast. Every turn adds new debris, and the final cliffhanger may leave you asking whether you'd dare press play on the evidence if it appeared on your screen tomorrow.
Then I saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin. I opened the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
When you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true? You really heard that? Well, yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Long before police vans boxed in Diddy's driveways, veteran neo-soul vocalist Jaguar Wright live-streamed tales so outrageous fans dismissed them as late-night shock jocks for clicks. Her central charge never wavered. Sean Combs threw secret soirees, codenamed freak-offs where phones were locked away, and pinhole cameras recorded every private moment. The priceless footage stashed for leverage. According to Jaguar, being on those tapes meant Diddy owned your silence. In 2023, she dropped names like Confetti, Meek Mill, August, Alcina Bashir Gray, and yes, Will Smith. She claimed young artists mentored at Will and Jada's Calabasas spread. Sometimes fled screaming after witnessing adults blur mentorship with intimacy. She resurrected an older street legend spun by former Compton figure Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who once alleged he'd seen actor Dwayne Martin fold Will Smith in a private backroom during a Diddy bash. Mainstream outlets yawned, but the story lingered on subreddits. Like an unsolved riddle, Jaguar doubled down, insisting there was physical proof. Mini DV baby, she sneered during one stream, fingers miming a tiny tape. That old school format that never hits the cloud, never gets hacked unless the feds kick your doors. Few took her seriously until the feds did exactly that. Overnight, her archive of rants turned from fringe entertainment to possible witness statements. Suddenly, the woman everyone called unhinged looked uncomfortably prophetic. Yet rumor alone can't detonate a career. It needs a spark from the inside, someone who claims first-hand sight. That spark arrived in a radio interview that lit social feeds on fire.
Then the rumors of Will Smith being gay and having gay relations with, who was it with?
Diddy.
I know, right? Hold on. So apparently Will's assistant, which I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, the whole thing sounds fishy because the same guy tried to interview on my platform and I said no. But he claims he saw Will Smith with Dwayne Martin.
Oh yeah.
I know. I know nothing about this. This is crazy.
I mean, well, you should interview Tisha.
Tisha Campbell, who was married to
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne Smith. That'd be an interesting interview.
Wouldn't it?
It would. You know her?
I do.
All right, let's make some phone calls.
I don't know. But I mean, and then there's, what would be said and what wouldn't be said. But, I heard more rumors about Dwayne than Will.
Oh, you heard rumors about Dwayne? Oh.
And then I saw sexual acts when I walked in them.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin.
Okay.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, "Hey, you got eyes on Will? We need him to come watch this." So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, "What?" But I see his car there. I'm like, "Where's this guy at?" So now I'm holding Dwayne down too. So I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, "Yo," and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they calling my cell phone. "Yo, we need to get Will here." I'm like, "Yo, kind of fuck down." Like, I'm trying to find this. Like, this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Only a man knows what a man means.
Brother Bilal worked security detail for Will Smith in the early 2000s, a job that meant clearing hallways, guarding trailers, and holding radio comms so perfectly even a boom operator couldn't pick the static. 2 decades later, he sat at a podcast mic and laid out a story that would dwarf every gossip headline. According to Bilal, a show producer once yelled through his walkie eyes on, "Will, we need him at playback now." Will's car sat outside. He wasn't in his trailer or the cafeteria with the clock ticking. Bilal used the spare key to Dwayne Martin's dressing room, figuring the two longtime friends might be running lines inside. He claims he opened the door and froze. Will bent over a couch. Dwayne behind him, both fully committed to an act Bilal never expected to see. He backed out, locked up, sprinted down the hall. Over the earpiece, a frustrated assistant barked, "Where is he?" Bilal whispered back, "I'm still looking." The entertainment press devoured the tale. Will's publicist blasted an official denial, calling the allegation pure fiction. Dwayne Martin kept silent, but silence invites imagination. In hours, TikTok had spliced Bilal's quote onto vintage Will and Dwayne red carpet footage. Members paired it with Diddy's 2002 party clip, where the mogul half-joked he'd snuff Will if he flirted with Jennifer Lopez again. By sundown, subreddit threads mapped speculative timelines. Did freak-off culture create an unspoken fraternity between Will and Diddy? Was Bilal mistaken? Or was he the first insider to break a taboo? The bigger conversation, what if cameras rolled in that dressing room? Bilal never mentioned a lens, but Jaguar's accusations painted every private corner of Diddy's world as a surveillance set. If cross-pollination existed between Diddy's archives and Will's life, the dressing room story might not just be a rumor. It might be one more file in the vault.
When you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true? You really heard that? Well, yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read? What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Think it. You look fantastic.
How you guys doing?
All right, good to see you.
I'm gonna go with my intro.
What do you say about the allegations? They're like so many rumors. Anything you want to say? Wait, see you? I know that's right. Thank you, Miss Pickett.
Tell me the story about how Puffy wanted to fight Will Smith over Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, man.
We were at a birthday party that I think either Matt Damon was giving for Ben Affleck. It was just a little gathering. It was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada that was sitting on the other side of the room. So I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his arm some kind of way, like, and then he went like this, you know, like, and I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer.
The idea of a leverage library sounds like B-movie pulp until darknet chatter lists starting bids. Cyber sleuths claim 30-second freak-off clips have been auctioned for 6 figures, while one full-night bundle allegedly breached the $500 million mark in crypto. The seller screen names change weekly, but files tagged 1998, Puffy Masquerade, or VIP Pool 070403 keep surfacing before disappearing behind VPN fog. Jaguar's streams alleged those sellers are former insiders, bodyguards, tech staff, frustrated videographers who copied caches when paychecks bounced. One of her most feverish claims, a 16-minute tape featuring Diddy and an A-list male bigger than him. She teased 3 candidates: Will Smith, Nick Cannon, or an unnamed superstar whose initials equal blockbuster territory. Without proof, it stayed gossip fuel until early 2024, when Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed suit in federal court. Jones, a videographer and creative aide, claimed he personally recorded hundreds of hours of Diddy's private life, including darknet-level content. He attached a spreadsheet file, names timecodes, quick descriptions. One column labeled, participants included code names starting WSDC, details blurred in the public copy. Jones asserted duplicates sat on drives in Diddy's homes, plus one fail-safe location off-site. The lawsuit timed out like a countdown 4 weeks later. Federal agents executed raids matching Jones's addresses. Cue the popcorn emoji army. If the government seized the drives and the drives match Jones's spreadsheet, those rumored dark net clips might become courtroom exhibits. And if Will occupies even 1 pixel of footage, the Fresh Prince's bounce back tour slams into a legal wall.
The world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff, people be making memes. I say the memes. I said, no, some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all their names. I can stop all of that. I ain't nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people. I ain't getting nowhere near that, man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whatever y'all hearing, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil.
Court records rarely read like thrillers, but the affidavits behind the raids on Diddy's mansions did. Investigators alleged a pattern sex trafficking illicit substances, interstate travel of underage participants, hush payments routed through shell LLCs. They cited former staff medical bills, even flight manifests, one-line chilled industry veterans, recorded media held for purposes of intimidation or coercive compliance, translation blackmail. If prosecutors prove Diddy weaponized voyeur footage to secure silence, every artist contract he touched. Bad Boy Revolt Ciroc endorsements could be scrutinized for duress, and any famous face on those tapes becomes potential evidence. Not just collateral damage, Will's camp retained a crisis management firm the day of the raids. Insiders whisper they prepped 3 statement drafts. 1. Mr. Smith has no knowledge of any illicit recordings. 2. If such recordings exist, They were non-consensual and a gross violation of privacy. 3. Total blackout, no comment at all. Thus far, the chosen strategy is silence, broken only by a short IG live where Will laughed off freak-off nonsense and joked, "I don't even like baby oil." The clip went viral, but few satisfied. Skeptics pointed out comedic deflection mirrors. The PR playbook: lighten the mood, dodge specifics, wait out the news cycle. But courts don't follow memes, they follow evidence. If grand jury subpoenas drop, witnesses can't opt out. They can plead the fifth, but a judge can grant limited immunity and force them to testify. Imagine Will Hollywood's perennial charmer sitting under oath, asked whether he attended any Diddy gatherings where cameras rolled. No invites, perjury. If footage surfaces, yes. Invites 1,000 new headlines.
And the jury sits. Will they be shown these tapes?
100%.
Will they have to watch it in court? Like during
100% in court in front of a room of people. And so that's the other thing that's awful. They are going to be watching basically for hours on end in front of people. So in front of victim one, whoever it may be, there's going to be porn played in the federal courtroom.
And victim one would have been made aware of this.
Oh, 100%. She's probably being told right now, like, this is going to be played in open court. Your sex history, your sex life is going to be talked about in open court. All of this.
And presumably then she knows that and she's pushing forward.
Now tell the federal government, I don't want to participate, and they can say, we don't care. This is a crime. Crimes are against the United States, not against, they keep calling her victim one, but don't forget, she's a witness to a crime, so it doesn't matter. She went to them in today and said, I'm not participating. Their response, we don't care. Get your ass on the stand.
Well, considering that the is selling his own God evidence that would put him in jail against him on the dark net to the highest bidder, why would he sell evidence of his debauchery and savagery? Why would he sell on the dark net his tapes of just terrible? Wanna know why? Because he doesn't intend to stand trial.
Is he protecting people, or are people protecting him?
Oh no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million.
Merely for amusement. Allegedly, how did Jennifer Lopez respond?
One leaked video could rattle more than Will's bankability. It could jar the Smith family's mental health journey into the world's harshest spotlight. Jaden's call for emancipation at 15 already fueled tabloids. Willow's confessions about self-harm became clickbait disguised as concern. Together, the siblings recast parental fame as a double-edged sword, access to global platforms, but also relentless speculation. Last year, Jaden spoke at a psychedelic research summit advocating psilocybin therapy for anxiety. Critics labeled it elite escapism. Supporters hailed scientific courage. A month later, Jaguar joked that Jaden's interest in hallucinogens might trace back to what he saw at home. Her insinuations surged through comment threads. Kids witness parental secrets. Mushrooms offer escape. The claim lacks evidence, yet haters treat it as gospel. Now with potential sex tapes. Under federal lock, fans worry about trauma triggers. If reels become public, courtrooms are sterile, but internet culture is not. The day any explicit stills leak, trolls will splice them beside Red Table Talk clips and meme them into trending hellscapes. Imagine Willow releasing a meditation EP only to find its YouTube comments hijacked by tape theories. Brand managers know the risk. Sources say the family activated Crisis Binder 2.0. All interviews paused, staff, NDAs re-signed phone policy, tightened across their production company, Westbrook Studios. Even benign behind-the-scenes vlogs halted anything that might reveal location or emotional state. ripe for exploitation. Yet the optics extend beyond the household. Netflix quietly bumped the release window for Will's heist thriller, Fast and Loose, to late 2026 citing post-production, but insiders blame unpredictable external factors. Meanwhile, a gaming startup scheduled to unveil a Jaden voice pack shelved the promo pending clarity. Influence money hates ambiguity. Scandals cloud valuations.
You heard about this sex tape that's being shopped around, a Diddy and another male? They say the other male is an A-list celebrity.
I would wonder if he's white or black. And if I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, there's only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith. He's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy?
Then I saw sexual acts that I walked in them.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin. All right, I opened the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
When I'm at school, sometimes my dad would just pull his pants down.
Hey!
Brother's always, yeah, brother's always playing. Okay.
Jaden jumped up and ran.
No, not on set he wasn't trying to kiss me, but after the set he'll try to kiss me or anywhere else.
So what do you think? Is Jaden still too old to get kissed by his dear old dad?
I love Justin Bieber, but that's just a fact.
Well, talk about brotherly love.
Why haven't A-listers publicly defended or condemned Diddy? One-word paperwork. Over the past decade, Combs Enterprises peppered collaborators with robust NDAs standard in VIP circles. But Diddy's rumored to include perpetual non-disparagement clauses. Accept private jet perks or sign to his label. You're gagged forever or forfeit back-end points. Artists Reclaiming Masters in 2023 reportedly signed fresh gag language before paperwork transferred. When Lady Gaga allegedly pressured powerhouse firm Grubman Shire into cutting Diddy loose, the music law world took notice. If a single client's moral stance topples a 20-year attorney-client bond, silent celebrities suddenly glimpse brand exposure. Stay quiet, protect deals, speak out risk defamation suits, plus skeletons tumbling from their own closets. Ari Emanuel's Endeavor sent a leak-proof memo. Until facts are adjudicated, clients should refrain from commentary that could prejudice proceedings. Translated duck and cover Hirak. Quietly swapped Diddy's face for generic cocktail recipes. Revolt Network reassured advertisers. It operates independently, though execs scrambled to untangle back-end licensing still tethered to Combs. One exception, Stevie J. The ex-Bad Boy producer tweeted, "Let love lead, then deleted it." Sources say Revolt in his mentions rivaled a K-pop fan army. Sponsors told him, "Sit down." He complied. That's how manic the climate feels. A single supportive tweet triggers sponsor threats. The unspoken consensus. Let courts talk. Any celebrity mouth could backfire.
Pinkett has written a book where she reveals that multiple times she tried to commit suicide.
I don't know why she keeps trying. She just get it done. Don't be bad at everything. You was an all right actress. You was a terrible wife. You was a bad mother.
Legal analysts warn if prosecutors tie a policy of recorded coercion to trafficking counts, at least some footage must be played for jurors. Federal judges can close the courtroom to the public, but transcripts eventually surface. Even sanitized descriptions would rocket across news tickers. Exhibit 49B depicts male A-list actors engaging in the imagination often outscandals reality, but sometimes reality wins. Diddy's new defense filings call the raids unconstitutional fishing expeditions demanding suppression. They allege affidavits omitted exculpatory context. Classic Fourth Amendment attack. But suppression rarely nukes all digital evidence. Prosecutors may salvage files via independent source or inevitable discovery doctrines. If suppression fails, a plea deal might follow trafficking carries up to life. A multi-year plea might entice. Yet plea deals rarely seal evidence. Victims can still sue civilly, dragging tapes into depositions. Either way, if Will appears on video consensual or not, civil, plaintiffs could subpoena him. He'd stand at deposition cameras off, but court reporter on, confronted with the screen. Even if his only sin is consenting to adult fun, the public optics differ from his carefully curated persona. Jurors watch snippets leak. Social media doesn't parse nuance. It screenshots, reshares decontextualized. The very tool Diddy allegedly used, blackmail by tape, could become the pyro that scorches everyone within frame.
You have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right? Says, I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
Did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go into the 90s, and Keefy D said he paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
So look, like you have the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docuseries. They went to Tubi, but the series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
You're one of the first persons in entertainment to really call out people and kind of have that authority in that, to be able to call people out. I mean, which is pretty amazing. You're kind of, in some ways, draining the swamp of Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning. So I don't necessarily have a responsibility to behave a certain way, according to them.
I was coming off of being in Miami a night of party, and I don't really remember what I was saying. You know what I'm saying?
Would you like a reminder?
Yeah, sure. Play something. Hey, yo, listen, yo, I love it all. I love it all, man.
I like when you like this, Daddy. Daddy, I like when you're always scrambling and scrape.
That was you. Scrambling.
What? You said, I like when you do it like that, Daddy. When you scrambling and scraping for shit.
Hey, man.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, is that not your relationship?
I don't call him gay. I said,
let me read Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner thieves in theaters. Like
that's what he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like he says something fabulous and he goes, "Yo, but me and you, we ain't party. Like we need to party." What is he talking about? When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago.
Hollywood once thrived on studio system secrecy. Starlets signed morality clauses. Fixers buried scandals. Audiences idolized illusions. Then came the internet phones in every pocket, cloud hacks deep fake wizardry. The line between fame and voyeurism blurred. But even in that hyper-exposed era, some circles believed they could outsmart transparency, lock away footage, wield it as currency, keep parties freaky, but consequences minimal. If federal agents now possess the master vault that gamble collapses, a leverage economy turns on fear of exposure. Once the vault sits in a chain of custody locker, leverage flips. The hoarder risks indictment. The coerced risk collateral shame, and viewers face a choice: press play and participate in someone's worst nightmare, or step back and let courts mediate justice without turning pain into entertainment. Will Smith stands at the crossroads, either absent from any tape escaping by luck, or present, and forced to redefine authenticity for an audience that already watched him slap a comedian on live TV. Diddy, once the maestro of narrative spin, may discover no remix. saves a track when the master file becomes State's Exhibit A. And the rest of us? We scroll, we gawk, we demand receipts, yet flinch at costs measured in broken mental health and family fallout. So here's the question only you can answer. If a hyperlink promised the tape that ends careers, would you click? If prosecutors streamed evidence in open court, would you watch wall-to-wall coverage or mute to respect privacy? Is accountability worth total exposure, or can justice happen backstage while we focus on bigger battles? Drop your take, respectful raw real. In the comments, smash subscribe because the moment grand jury news drops, we'll decode it here. And remember, the next viral leak you binge might be someone else's life imploding. In an era where every secret can fit on a thumb drive, maybe the most radical act is choosing not to press play.
Sean Diddy Combs looking to suppress evidence in his federal trial. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is back with the story. Good morning again, Aaron.
And to you, Michael. You'll remember federal agents from Homeland Security investigations were hardly shy when they raided Sean Combs' opulent homes in Los Angeles and Miami, guns drawn. The jailed music mogul now argues those searches and other searches of his iCloud accounts, electronic devices, and New York City hotel room following his arrest were unconstitutional. His lawyers argue evidence obtained through those searches must be suppressed. Diddy's lawyers say the government presented a grossly distorted picture of reality when applying for the search warrants, omitting certain facts and including salacious details from an unnamed producer that were never credible. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges. The defense is also arguing here his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, was a willing participant in drug-fueled sex performances called freak-offs, not coerced as prosecutors allege.
Legal team is getting a little smaller as the rap mogul's defense team prepares for his May trial on sex charges. His attorney, Anthony Rico, respectfully but regrettably requested to be dismissed from his role, according to documents obtained by NBC News. Rico, who is one of 6 attorneys on the case, requested in the February 21st filing to withdraw as representation because, quote, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the ABA's standards for criminal justice. The motion continues, quote, while I'm aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted only upon a showing by affidavit or otherwise of satisfactory reasons for withdrawal, there are sufficient reasons related to the protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for withdrawal as counsel in this case.
So the high-powered law firm of Grubman, Shire, Masalis, and Sachs has dropped Combs as a client. Now, this is the firm of Alan Grubman, who is a very prominent entertainment lawyer that represents some very big names. The Weeknd, Madonna, Chris Brown, Paul Simon, Usher, Bruce Springsteen. In fact, by the way, Alan Grubman was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He actually helped found that back in the 1980s. So, gives you an idea about how big of a powerhouse this firm is. Now let's go back to Sean Combs. So the rumor circulating is that this firm did this because singer and actress Lady Gaga had threatened to leave the firm unless they parted ways with Combs. This is according to reporting by News Nation. And it's a big deal because the rapper and producer had apparently been with Grubman's firm for over 20 years. He was friends with Alan Grubman by all accounts. And there's more that's happening right now for Diddy, right? We had mentioned that Combs had apparently deleted his entire Instagram account. We did an episode